Today, I am going to talk to you about listening to your gut. And I don't mean your gut in terms of should you quit that job or not. I'm talking about your actual gut. What is your gut telling you? Hey everyone, I'm Keri Glassman. Welcome to your most nutritious life. So let's start with probiotics. So many people lately have been asking me, should I take a probiotics? And I always start with, well, let's first talk about what probiotics really are. So probiotics are technically defined by the World Health Organization as microorganisms that, when consumed in adequate amounts, produce a benefit to the host. So PS friends, you're the host. You are the host. So if you consume a certain amount of bacteria in adequate amounts, you can reap certain benefits. So let's go a little bit further here, because sometimes people say, so what type of bacteria? So does that mean I just take any old probiotic? I'm gonna go back another step here, and let's just have some basic digestive health 411. We all have this complex ecosystem in our gut of good bacteria and bad bacteria, and that begins the moment we're born. And everything from stress to the different types of foods we eat, healthy foods and unhealthy foods, to taking antibiotics, to taking different medications, all of these things, even to our environment, all of these things are going to affect our makeup of good and bad bacteria. And the reason this is really important is because our gut health affects our overall health. And the problem is when your ecosystem of the good and bad bacteria is tipped and weighs more heavily on the bad bacteria, it can cause all sorts of problems. So the first problem is the obvious digestive problems, things from constipation to diarrhea, right? And then the other types of problems are going to be things like immunity and energy. And there's even lots of research going on right now connecting your gut health to your brain and even to weight. And it makes a lot of sense, right? When you think about it, if you're eating food, hopefully you're eating really healthy food that has these great nutrients, but if your gut is not healthy and in a great position to absorb those nutrients well, we're not gonna reap those benefits. So let's get back to whether or not you should take a probiotic. There are many thousands of types of probiotics out there. So if you are going to take one, you have to make sure that you're taking one specific to your need. Do you have constipation? Do you get bloated? Are you looking for more energy? Like what is the reason behind you taking a probiotic? So that's going to be really important. But before you even decide whether or not a probiotic is for you, and before I even tell you my final recommendation, I want you first to think about just improving gut health in general. Because when you have a good digestion, like I've mentioned before, you're going to have just overall better health. So a few things to think about when it comes to overall digestive health. First, incorporate fermented foods like kefir, sauerkraut, kimchi. Those are foods that are fermented using a live active culture. So those foods begin with a microbe and then are fermented. So they're going to have the benefits of probiotics. Then I also want you to focus on having a whole lot of fiber, because fiber helps feed the good bacteria. So when you have fiber and you're feeding the good bacteria, and actually different types of fiber feed different bacteria in your gut. So you want fiber not just from one type of food, but you want to get fiber in a variety of foods. So fermented foods, fiber. You also want to think about eating frequently throughout the day versus big meals at one time. So eat consistent small meals throughout the day. I also want you to think about having lots of fluid. Our bodies are up to 75% water, and we need water to be constantly, not only for our skin health and for immunity and to feel good and to be energetic, but we also need it just to be pushing things through. And for our gut health, just like we need it for so many other things, we need those fluids to keep things moving. Those are a few basic things that you can do to improve digestive health. And then of course I want you also to think about managing stress and getting adequate sleep and exercising regularly. Those are all things that also can affect your digestive health. So what's my final answer? Should you take a probiotic or should you not take a probiotic? Well, the first part is to follow all those tips that I just mentioned for overall good digestive health. And then I also say, if you feel like you're having certain problems, bloating, gas, maybe even just fatigue, and you feel like something's off and you think you're doing all of those things right, then absolutely make sure you're incorporating one fermented food into your diet daily and also take a probiotic, but make sure you check out the strain of probiotic you're taking, because as I mentioned already, there are many types of probiotics out there and you really want to take one that's specific to your needs. Check out below for some special offers and also for some help on figuring out how you can pick that specific strain of probiotic for you.